Hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. What do we have this time round? As I said, I'm beginning to learn about bourbon. So I'm buying one or two of the standard things to get me going, and then I'm going to move on to luxury things. And I bought something that I thought was a luxury bourbon, judging entirely by the packaging and the price, and I thought I will nab that, we'll get a luxury bourbon. This is going back a couple of months. So I bought, I'm afraid to say, I bought the Basil Hayden. I saw all of this wonderful get-up, this slightly strange overblown Masonic apron of a label, this thing with all the copper, and copper's not cheap nowadays, all this metal. I thought this has got to be a good bourbon. I bought it, I kept it on the shelf going, this is going to be good. It's not that great. Don't want to spoil the ending, but it's certainly not a luxury product. It's made by Jim Beam. It's a Kentucky bourbon whiskey. It's not Kentucky straight bourbon. I don't know enough about bourbon to tell you what the omission of the word straight actually means. I'd love to know, please share. It is bottled at the bare minimum of 40%. It costs nearly 50 Canadian dollars plus tax. I really think that they have taken a fairly standard product, they have dressed it up with all this very expensive stuff, this metal stuff here, and they've tried to make it look better than it is. And I will confess to feeling somewhat cheated by this. Okay, so $50 plus tax, quite expensive really. This thing. It has no age statement. It used to be an 8-year-old bourbon, and now it is artfully aged. So whatever is the minimum age for a bourbon that isn't a Kentucky straight bourbon, that's what age it probably is. Okay, there's a toasty note to it, slightly medicinal, but you do get a big whack of eucalyptus. There's a kind of lemon scent that you might get in a cleaning product that's supposed to be lemon. Certainly not a fresh lemon. Big eucalyptus. Otherwise there's not a great deal going on here, I have to say. Sour, thin, a bit bleachy. It fades to quite a harsh alcohol. Yeah, it's not awful, but for the price, it's awful. It does fade also to a coconutty note, which is just like the standard, just how I experience the very standard Jim Beam. So I wonder how far this might be from the standard Jim Beam, which I wouldn't buy, and which is quite a lot cheaper than this. I have to say, I do feel somewhat cheated. By the way, people who really know their bourbon might say, Rob, what are you talking about? This is a wonderful bourbon. I really don't know. I've not seen that many reviews of it. But I really don't think that the juice is as nice as the way it's packaged. Kind of woody, quite sappy vanilla note to it. big minty eucalyptus at the back. It's just not doing anything for me. My favourite, the Buffalo Trace, that's, I think, just short of $40. This is just short of $50. The Buffalo Trace is bottled at $45. This is bottled at $40. What would this have? I can only imagine. If this was bottled at 45% and dropped down $10 in price, I would still buy the Buffalo Trace. Trying to think where it fits, because I haven't really enjoyed it, I have to say. Where does it fit in the hierarchy of bourbons that I've tried? I think it's slightly better quality. I think there's more going on than there is with the Bullet Bourbon, the standard no age statement Bullet Bourbon. But I'm probably more likely to buy the Bullet Bourbon again than I am to buy this, because the Bullet Bourbon is good for mixing and it's very nicely priced, and that kind of rye spiciness with the Bullet Bourbon, I think it'd be nice for mixing, and I think it does give it a distinctive character. So I could see myself buying another bottle of the Bullet Bourbon. I certainly want to try the 10-year-old. If Basil Hayden brought out a 10-year-old, I wouldn't buy that. Where does it fit then? I think in terms of the juice that's in the bottle, it's better than the Bullet Bourbon. But all this get-up just annoys me, quite frankly. The price annoys me. So if I'm to, this is the reason I don't give out scores on the reviews. But in terms of quality, slightly above the Bullet Bourbon, but in terms of value for money, way below. Okay. Disappointing, but I share everything that comes my way. So if I try something that I expect to be not so great, and I thought, well, I'll just try it, and it turns out to be great, of course I'll share that. If I buy something expecting it to be wonderful and it's awful, of course I will share that as well. So the fact that there is a review on the channel is not an endorsement of the product. I would certainly not buy this again. Yeah. Steer clear in my non-expert view. I want to try just one more cheap bourbon, and then I will treat you. I'll have the experience necessary to actually try some more expensive, more premium bourbons. So the next bourbon you'll see on the channel will be the sort of thing that you can pick up at any liquor store, and then we will move on to more interesting things. So more premium stuff, slightly rarer, and possibly some cask strength stuff as well. Okay, thank you very much everybody. Sorry it's a disappointing bottle, but I like to share whatever I've experienced. Thank you very much, and we will meet once again. Cheers, bye bye.